Okay, so we're coming into a pose today that always makes me giggle, and this one is called Nukasana, and Nukasana it's a seated pose. It's also a balance. Now the thing about this pose is that you want to make sure that you do the version that is the best for you. I'm going to move into this in stages, and because my legs aren't brilliant at the moment, the very final stage I might manage to do it, but it's highly unlikely that I will. So because it involves a forward bend, I've actually, I'm just going to stick a very quick forward bend into this. So if you've not got brilliant tight hamstrings, and you decide that you're going to do the full version, in fact I'm going to stick the forward bend into the middle of this. So you don't have to, if you want to stay at the easier version of this, you'd forget about the forward bend. So Nukasana. First thing I've just realised I'm all in purple, which means it's more difficult for you to see what I'm doing. I'll move back a little bit, maybe now you can see. So I'm bringing my hands underneath my knees. I'm interlacing my fingers. And from here, all I'm doing is rolling my shoulders away from the ears, and I'm starting to sit up. Now I need to make sure that I'm on my sitting bones. I can feel that I'm going to be able to balance on the sitting bones. I'm rolling my shoulders down my back, I'm lengthening through towards the top of my head, and the first thing I need to do is engage my core. So you can stay here, you don't have to go any further than this. You want to take it a little bit further, start to walk the toes in, keep that length, keep the length in the back, walk the toes in until you've got to the point where you feel as if the toes might lift from the floor. Maybe that's it. Maybe already if you feel as if you're using your back to do this, back off, put the feet back on the floor and stay here. Don't go any further than that. Maybe you can take it in. Engage the core, lift the toes. So maybe that's it. Maybe you want to stay here. You can close your eyes down here. You can focus on the core muscles and you can just focus on being balanced. Maybe you feel as if you can take it a little bit further. And then you begin to bring the shins so they were parallel to the floor. Core is still very, very, very much engaged. So I'm still holding on to my knees. This is where I would normally stay at the moment because my body's not really strong enough for doing any more than this. But if you feel as if you can, and if you're much stronger than I am physically, you can bring the arms either side of the knees so the palms are facing towards them. Now I'm bringing my hands back, demonstrated it, I'm not doing that again. Now slowly I'm going to release my legs down, straighten my legs out because that was too much for my hips and I could feel that. So this is where I said I was going to throw the forward bend into the middle. So you stay in that first stage, feet on the floor. Second stage, the feet were lifted. Third stage, you brought the shins parallel. Or the fourth stage, you let go, didn't you? And you had your hands there. Now, if you want to come into a full Nukasana, the first thing you want to make sure is that you can reach your toes with straight legs when you are just in a normal forward bend. So keeping the length in the back, all you're going to do is, can you reach to the toes? I can just do it. So I know that my full Nukasana pose at the moment is not going to be accessible. So I know that that's as far as I am today. Now if I bend my knees, then I can hold on to my big toes. So I know that if I was going to try full Nukasana now, from the balancing position, then I'm going to have to keep my knees bent. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do this. Because if I straighten out my legs now, look what's going to happen to my back. It's just collapsed. My back has completely collapsed, which means that my back is going to be taking the brunt of the balance and not my core muscles. But if I bend my knees, I can engage my core and then I can straighten. Can you see how the length has come back into my back? Look at the difference there. I'm curving because my hamstrings can't take it. Bend my knees and I'm lengthening again. So I'll have a go at this, but with bent knees. So I've walked my knees in, my arms are wrapping around my knees, and then when I feel as if I can, there we go. and balancing. Heels have come off the floor. Maybe that is as far as you can go. Maybe I'm going to keep my knees bent, and that is allowing me to keep that length in my back. So my core is still working, but I'm keeping my knees so they are very slightly bent. If you have much better hamstrings than me, maybe you can straighten out your legs. Don't if it doesn't suit you. And again, now from here in this pose, my core is engaged. I'm relaxing my shoulders away from my ears. I'm not worrying too much about the hamstrings. I'm focusing completely on my balance in Nukasana. And then slowly I can release my legs back down. I can straighten the legs back out. Give the legs a bit of a shake and just gently squeezing into my shoulder blades. And if you felt it in the hips, feet onto the floor and just gently coming into your windscreen washers. So Nukasana, boat pose. Remember, if you've got really tight hamstrings, if you run or if you walk an awful lot, hamstrings are going to be tight. If you in your seated pose can't hold on to your toes and keep that beautiful length in the back and the core engaged at the same time, don't attempt to do the version where you have got the legs straight in Nukasana, because you're asking for trouble. So, Nukasana, a balance pose, but in a seated position.